Alright guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while since my last video and I apologize for that, but we had a lot come up in the last couple of weeks. My computer broke, so I had to ship it in to get it fixed, and first day back getting it, so it's only fair that we pick up the slack on the streams. And we've had a Star City Open in Dallas happen, and then we've had a GP in San Antonio happen in Team Modern. So I ran virtually the same deck at both events and had decent success at both of them. On the Open, I cashed, and on the GP, I had a pretty good final record with this deck. So let's get into it. This deck is, of course, Revolt Zoo. So this is a deck that I've been playing for a while now. I've played a few big tournaments with it, and I've made different little tweaks and different little fixes to it according to how I think the meta is. And I think right now, like, this deck just has a really good position in the meta. Like, it's got a pretty good matchup against Death Shadow. It's got a decent matchup against just the mid-rangey decks. It's got a really good matchup against any sort of Grixis control lists or blue-white control lists and everything, because we can just get under their curve. So, in the list. For the land bases, we've got 4 Arid Mesa, 3 Wooded Foothills, and 4 Windswept Heaths. Just 11 fetches. The sources we're going to be fetching are 1 Temple Garden, 2 Stomping Grounds, 1 Sacred Foundry, and then 1 of each of the basics, just in case of Ghost Quarter and Path to Exile. The list only runs 17 lands, which is fine. We don't really want to see more than 3 or 4 in a game, but we do have 2 Simian Spirit Guides as alternate mana sources, or late game we could just cast it. Doesn't ever feel really good to cast a Simian Spirit Guide, but sometimes it is better than nothing at all. Alright, so let's get into the spells portion of the deck. We are running 4 Atarka's Command to just kind of wombo combo over their heads and beat them down. And we are running 4 Lightning Bolts. And that's the only spells we're running in the deck. Like, as this deck is not a burn deck, it is a creature-heavy zoo deck, as you can see by our creature count here at 35. So what makes this list really good and really explosive are, these 15 cards right here. We have 4 Burning Tree Emissary, which most of you know what it is. It adds a red and a green when played. But we also have another copy of Burning Tree Emissary and Hidden Herbalist that whenever we trigger Revolt, we get 2 green. And triggering Revolt with this list is not hard at all because we have the 11 fetch lands, and we can also swing, and if they kill a creature, we can post-combat play this guy unless, we want to just try to chain a really big, Reckless Bushwhacker with Surge and everything. And we also have Goblin Bushwhacker, which is, in fact, a Reckless Bushwhacker. I just wanted to have the 7 sources of Bushwhacker effect to give it more consistency and more explosiveness. So the little creatures in the deck, we've got 4 Goblin Guide, every red deck's bread and butter. We got 4 Goblin Guide, 3 Curdape. I elected to not go to the 4th Curdape because, so Curdape is virtually the same thing as Narnum Renegade, but Narnum Renegade has Death Touch, and it's also a green source that we can trigger off the double green to sink mana off of Hidden Herbalist if we don't have Burning Tree to fix the mana. We have 4 Wild Nicottle, of course, typical zoo, and then 3 Experiment 1, which the Evolve can make this guy up to a 3/3. Which is pretty good. It's another source of Wild Nicottle. So, the deck's pretty straightforward. You will see the curve is insanely low. So, it curves out at 2 because we're most always going to surge this, and let's face it, these are lands. So, yeah, that's really what the true curve looks like. As you can see, it's pretty insane. Curves out at 2. That's why we only need the 19 land sources. So, sideboard, let's get into it. So, at the GP, I ran 3 Tarmogoyf in the sideboard. I think Tarmogoyf is a fine card. A lot of times, so it only comes in against a couple of matchups. It only comes in against Control and Death Shadow Zoo, but even then, it's kind of a coin flip on how much removal they've got. It's just mainly to survive Anger of the Gods or Bolts or things like that. So I don't think it's actually needed. So I went ahead and tried a more traditional sideboard. I've got 2 Tormod scripts for graveyard decks like Control and Dredge, things of that nature. I've got 4 Boros Charm in case we play the Burn Mirror match, or, these are really great against decks with sweepers like Engineered Explosives or Anger of the Gods or Damnations. We've got 3 Destructive Revelries for the decks that are running Chalice of the Voids and Leyline of Sanctities. But Leyline doesn't really hurt us that bad. It shuts down our Lightning Bolts, but that's about it. But we do want to take out the Chalice of the Voids. Those are problematic, and this is just also a really good spell against Affinity. And then we also got 3 Ancient Grudges for the Affinity matchups as well. So we also have 3 Path Exiles to deal with creatures that get too big for our guys or our burn to deal with, such as Death Shadow Zoo or Eldrazi. And we just try to get there as fast as we possibly can. At the GP, played against a lot of solid decks, solid players, had a lot of turn 2, turn 3 kills that left my opponents just head spinning a little bit, like, oh my gosh, what just happened? So we'll see if we can get some of those starts, and you can just see how explosively powerful this deck is online as we do a modern league. So all right, let's get into it and see how we do.